I'm installing 10 cheap performance mods on my Volkswagen Golf. We have £300 in each episode to transform this car into what you see right now into something nice. We're going to be changing all aspects of the car, including wheels and suspension, engine mods, interior, and lots more. The aim of the series is to show you guys you don't need an expensive car and a crazy budget to build something nice. I'm thinking about raffling this car off to one of you guys so I can fund another project and go bigger and better. If there's enough interest in raffling this car off, let me know in the comments down below and I'll make sure it happens. With that being said, make sure you like the video and subscribe, and let's crack on. Performance upgrades don't have to break the bank. In fact, some of the most effective mods are surprisingly affordable. Whether you're a seasoned car enthusiast or just getting started, I'll show you why you can still make a difference on your car with budget-friendly mods. Performance mods refers to making an improvement to the car, whether it's power, handling, braking, driving experience or grip. Whether you have a Ford Ka or an Audi RS6, you're still able to benefit from performance mods and improve the car regardless how little the improvements are. Let's talk about the most important one, power. It's a measurement of how much work an engine can do over time and is normally measured in horsepower. Generally, the higher the number, the faster the car is, without taking into effect other variables like weight, aerodynamics and gear ratios. Now we have a basic understanding of power. How can we increase it? Well, there's lots of components on and in an engine programmed and made to work together to create power. And by upgrading said components can increase power output, whether it's installing a turbo, upgrading your camshafts, or using our first mod of the day where I'm upgrading the exhaust system. The main benefit of an upgraded exhaust is it allows the exhaust gases to flow more freely, creating a less restrictive area for the gas to flow out the back. Making the gases flow easier will generally squeeze a bit of extra power out of the engine. On a car like this though, the improvements are negligible and are mainly installed for aesthetics and sound, but performance is performance and I'll take all the horsepower I can get. Alright guys, first modification of the day, we have a complete exhaust system for a Mark III Golf. This is a 2.5-inch system, so it will flow a lot better than what's on the car. You'll be expecting to pay about 150 quid for a full system just like this, and brand new you're paying about 500 quid. This didn't cost me a penny. I got this for free. This was advertised on Facebook Marketplace for free to give away to somebody. A friend of mine tagged me in the post, and then I actually realised that I knew the chap through YouTube and bits and bobs. Went up, picked it up, had a good chat for many hours as you do, and I came home with this complete exhaust system for a Mark III Golf for nothing. Now, because this was available on Facebook Marketplace for anybody to buy, I'm going to include 0 on the budget, so we have a little bit more to play around with in this episode. Now, with that being said, let's get the exhaust on. Before I chuck it on though, let's do a quick sound check of the current exhaust. Let's get the old exhaust off then. I'm going to need as much room under the car to work from, so I had the front resting on jack stands and the rear was propped up with wood and a brick. As soon as I crawled underneath, I saw what was causing the exhaust blow. What the hell is that? First up, I'm taking these brackets off, which I think are used to protect the exhaust, or it stops it from dropping on the floor if the joints fail. Either way, they're coming off. Off camera, I unplugged the lambda sensor so I can lift it away with the exhaust. Next is taking off the exhaust rubbers. Now I'm removing these crusty, rusty, rounded bolts so I can separate the cap from the downpipe. I decided it's easier to remove the exhaust in 2 sections, so I'm removing the back box clamp to separate the front section, which is coming out just now. Whose idea was this? Out comes the back box. See what it sounds like. It's gonna be so loud. Okay. Oh my god. The lambda sensor needs swapping over, so that's what I'm doing now. It measures the amount of oxygen in the exhaust gas and adjusts the fueling to optimise engine efficiency and emissions. New exhaust is going on now. I installed the invisible catalytic converter, then the centre section, then the back box. Okay. Do you know what? It It wasn't as loud as I thought it would be. Oh yes, I actually quite like that. I need to take it on a road test, but we are literally on E. Later on in this vlog, I will take this out for a road test and show you guys what it sounds like. But in here, it sounds so much better than the standard exhaust. It also doesn't blow. Oh, beautiful. Right guys, let's move on to the next modification. That's put me in a good mood. You guys have been following the channel for a while now. You know I'm all about getting the best bang for your buck. So we're going to be talking about and installing something that's going to drastically change the look of the car and the way it performs. That is coilovers. These coilovers are from our awesome sponsor, Max Speeding Rods. They're specifically designed for enthusiasts like us who want to improve our ride quality and performance, but don't want to drop a ton of cash. So what makes these coilovers such a great value? Off the rip, the quality is actually really good for the price point. They already come pre-assembled, so all you need to do is put on your new top mount, gather together a couple of basic tools and a set of C-spanners that's already supplied in the box, and you're ready to install these coilovers and slam your car to the ground. They're also the cheapest coilovers on the market at the time of filming, which fits in perfect with this build series. Installation is simple. Just search for YouTube guides and online forums and you'll be able to get them on in no time. You'll notice an immediate difference on how your car handles and feels. The reduced body roll, improved cornering and just the right amount of stiffness really make your car feel more planted to the road. You'll notice I already have Stance Plus coilovers, but this is a great opportunity to compare the two budget brands and see which one comes out on top. Max Speeding Rods already gets my vote with the price and the fact that the springs match the colour of the car. If you're looking to upgrade your suspension, then Max Speeding Rods is a no-brainer. Whether you're hitting the track or taking on twisty back roads or just want that perfect stance, these coilovers have got you covered. To sweeten the deal even more, if you use code PROJECT7, you save 10% off when you're at checkout on any product from Max Speeding Rods. This discount code will last 2 years to give you a chance to buy your coilovers. I'll leave a link to their website in the description down below. Make sure you go check them out. Big thanks to Max Speeding Rods for sponsoring this segment of the video and for helping us bring performance to those who don't want to break the bank. Now let's crack on with some more performance mods. The next modification we're going to be installing is this air filter. So this is literally every 18-year-old's dream. This is probably one of the first modifications anyone installs because it's such an easy thing to do. The improvement in sound you get from these is like night and day. In the right application, this will increase performance, but in my application, I'm going to do it the lazy way and just whack it straight on. Mainly, I'm doing it for the induction noise. There are tons and tons of different air filter systems you can buy. You can get just the cone ones, you can get full enclosure systems, and they all vary in price. Now this filter was £9. So for the cost of a standard OEM one, you can get yourself a nice upgraded aftermarket one. Now the problem with Mark III Golfs is you need one of these. So essentially what this is a mass airflow adapter. This is the mass airflow. We'll explain that in another video. That is not important. What is important is how it mounts to the standard airbox. Obviously we're not able to bolt the cone filter straight to this because it's got like a flat edge and then we've got bolts. So what this does is bolts to the mass airflow and then it allows us to now put an air filter on. They're both the same size, they're both 3-inch intakes, so they should fit with no issues. We're just going to get it straight on and see what you guys think. Cheap performance mods don't always have to be about power. They can be anything that improves the overall driving experience. The next mod fits perfectly in this area and also gives a little power too, depending on the car and application. Simple upgrades like installing a high flow air filter will improve feel as you'll get a more throaty induction sound when you put your foot down. There's also opportunity to scrape a few horsepower by allowing more air to flow past the filter. On a car like this, the gains are minimal, but it sounds and looks so much better when done properly. I can't fork out for a fully enclosed system as this will run me over budget. Right, let's get this air filter on there. First I need to remove the original airbox by taking out a couple of retaining rings, a few screws holding the mass airflow sensor on the airbox, next on goes the MAF adapter. Next on goes the air filter. Guys, the new air filter has been installed and we're going to see what it sounds like now. Obviously, naturally, the noise was all coming from the back, but now we've got a little bit of induction noise. Oh, that sounds way better. The recess on the adapter is not big enough, so the seal doesn't sit flush on it. So what I've had to do is just kind of crush it just a little bit, just to create a nice seal, which is something you shouldn't really have had to do with quite an expensive part. I know it's been 3D printed, but you'd have thought it's been sort of tried and tested. It's on, it's not going to leak air. Remember, this is not a forced induction engine, so we're not going to be sucking in anything over atmospheric pressure, so nothing's going to like pop off or like that. Definitely improves the sound. Don't think it's going to improve the power just because it's going to be sucking in a lot of this warm air from this engine. But if I did make a nice enclosure and sort of made a cold air feed or something like that, it can. And they are proven and tried and tested to actually improve the performance of the engine. Now, obviously, it's a little bit floppy at the minute, and there's brackets and stuff you can make just to tidy it up a little bit. But what do you think, guys? Do you think we should keep this on or run the standard air box? There's a hole here where your standard air feed goes. What I can do is actually push the filter up to there, so it's got a more direct feed of cold air, and I can use a cable tie that around this bracket here, just so everything is secured. So let's do that now, see what it looks like. There we go, much better. Now, the next thing you guys are probably going to be wondering is, what is this? So this is an air intake temperature sensor. So it obviously bolts into the standard air box, tells the ECU what sort of temperatures the engine is drawing in. If we're in a very hot climate or if we're in a very cold climate, it's going to affect the way the engine is going to run. So that is why it's important to leave it plugged in, because I'm probably going to get some fault codes and it might run in limp mode. As long as I've got this sensor sort of around where the air filter is, I should be okay. I might sort of cable tie it onto one of these pipes here, just so it's right near the air filter. That's the way to do it properly anyway. But that is solid, that is not moving anywhere. Let's move on to the next one. Alright guys, the next modification we have is easily my best bang for buck modification I've ever done to sort of your Mark 3s, Mark 2 Golfs, and that is the short shifter. This essentially replaces what's already in the car, but we've got 2 extra holes. The extra 2 holes is for adjustment of the throw. So this one would be the minimum throw possible, so it will give you the shortest travel. I always have my cars on the most aggressive setting. It just completely transforms the way the car feels. And the fact that this is so cheap online, it's like a no-brainer. And I want one of you guys to experience how good this short shifter is. So I bought an extra one and I'm going to raffle it off to you guys. We have a third-party company that's going to handle all of the giveaway, so I've got no involvement with drawing the actual tickets. All I'm here for is to promote it and sort of give it away. For all questions and details, follow the link in the description. Everything will be on the website. In the future, my plan is to raffle off the blue cab, maybe the Mark II Golf, maybe some extra modifications we buy, maybe some coilovers, wheels, etc. I'm just starting off small and see how it goes, and if you guys respond really well to it, I'll do a hell of a lot more giveaways, especially with cars, because what I want to do is build a car, enjoy it for a little bit, and then let one of you guys experience it as well. What that will also allow me to do, recoup the money I've spent on the car to then fund another build, which is going to be even better. Do it again, keep raffling it off, just keep on recycling the cars. It's worth just buying one ticket just to let me know you guys are interested in future giveaways and raffles and stuff like that. And let's get it chucked on and you will see the massive difference it makes. This reduction in throw means quicker gear changes and a more direct feel when you're driving. Many short shifters are designed for DIY installation, so you don't have to be a professional mechanic to get this mod installed. But make sure you do your research beforehand. Mark 2s, Mark 3 Golfs up to an 8 valve GTI have the easiest installation, as I'll show you now. This is the part I'm swapping out, so I need to remove the R-clip holding the shift rod on the arm and move it out of the way. Next I need to remove this 13mm nut and lift the arm out. At this point I realised my relay shaft bush had completely deteriorated due to heat. This is what makes the gear knob have excessive up and down play. It's held in with one clip underneath and a couple of plastic sleeves. I removed the bottom sleeve and clip and pulled it out. Now on goes the new one and built back up in reverse order, making sure the sleeve is swapped over from the old one. It's a common part to fail on these cars, so I recommend ordering one just in case. Alright guys, the new short shifter has now been installed. As you can see, we have a new relay shaft bush, which is that sort of white looking thing. Let's see how it feels. So let's give you a side by side again. So that is now up and down movement. Before it was doing that, as you remember. Left and right, it's not too bad. Oh, hear that click. Oh. First I need to get it started before I can do it, but the throw is loads shorter now. It just feels so much better. When we have installed all of the mods on this car, we will take it for a drive and I'll give you an initial reaction of how the car is and sort of talk about, have the modifications made a difference. So with that being said, let's move on to the next one. Going back to another modification we installed earlier on in the video, I want to talk about a modification that's going to help with the air filter. That's why I'm pleased to announce another sponsor of the channel, RL Project Parts. RL Project Parts specialises in top quality, affordable aftermarket accessories specifically designed for the Mark III Golf. Whether you're looking to enhance performance, upgrade your style, or just add some unique touches to your pride and joy, they've got you covered. Now for the cost of each item, I'm not really going to expect much, but to be fair guys, quality is really good plastic, so it's robust. It's not going to snap compared to your fiberglass. Prior to this car I had a Mark III Golf Estate, and that was running the fiberglass intakes. The problem with them is you need to pry this tab to get it to clip in the bumper, and because it's fiberglass, it was just wanting to snap and crackle and pop. So these are going to be a lot better. It's actually really well packaged as well. They encouraged me to do an honest review, and if I was to receive these for the amount that they would normally cost, I'd be extremely happy. Like the finish is like OEM, nice textured. Don't know if you're going to see it. RL Project Parts was kind enough to send out a few of their products for me to try out and give an honest review. I'll kick things off with these upper bumper intakes. They're not just functional, they're also designed to perfectly fit the Mark III Golf, adding a sleek and aggressive look to the front end. With improved cooling and a funnel for fresh, cold air from the front, these not only look good, but they work too. Installation couldn't be any easier, as all we need to do is remove the middle and inner reflector or fog light depending on your spec and slide these in place. The next product is the lower bumper intake. For the visual factor, they look much more aggressive than the standard trims, and adding additional duct into your brakes or wherever you choose, you've got another port of fresh air to cool down your components, whether you're on track or road. Again, installation couldn't be easier. Remove the original trims and put them in the bin where they belong. Next ones go on and come with a pre-drilled hole to mount using the original bolt hole, so there's no gluing or drilling required. Now, last but not least, guys, we have these, what's known as indicator grills, reflector grills, Kanye shades. They've got loads of different names. So what we're going to do is chuck these on at the indicators. Now I wonder if these actually clip over the vents. They do. But I think they're better designed for the reflectors. So they're pretty much supposed to sit just like that. I think with the intakes, because they're a little bit bigger, they don't quite fit. These are designed to go on the reflectors anyway, so you can either go intake or reflectors with the Kanye shades. Alright guys, the upper and lower vents are installed and the vents are all clipped into place. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think we should run the lower vents and the upper vents? Do you think we should take the shades off? Should we just run the upper vents and put the Kanye shades on this side? Let me know how you think we should go. I think the shades on the intakes, they kind of flow with the Kanye shade pretty decent, but I think I probably want to take these ones off. Maybe leave those there. I'm not sure, I don't know. I'd probably need some time to sit on it for a little bit. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, whether you think we should keep everything or take some parts off. And here's the best part. RL Project Parts is offering an exclusive discount to everyone watching this video. Just use the code at the bottom of the screen at checkout to get 10% off with no minimum spend. So if you're thinking about upgrading your Mark III Golf, now is the perfect time to do it. Massive thank you for RL Project Parts for sponsoring this segment of the video. If you guys want any accessories for your Mark III Golf, be sure to head over to the website and the link in the description below. Trust me, your Mark III will thank you for it. We have our next modification. What we have here is a cold air feed intake. So to complement the intakes we've just installed, we've essentially got a nice funnel of cold air from the front of the car. So we're going to channel that cold air straight into the air filter using this cold air feed. So let's chuck it on. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just providing colder air into that air filter to make the engine run a little bit more efficient. So let's get it whacked on and we'll show you what it looks like after. Now I have a direct source of cold air using the bumper intakes. I can plumb in some piping so the new air filter is sucking in cool air. I just measured the size of the opening on the intakes and routed it directly to the air filter, making sure the route is as neat as possible. I've decided not to use the lower ones to feed the brakes, as this won't be used for track use. Instead, it's another means of funneling colder air into the engine bay, keeping the ambient temperatures as low as possible. Alright guys, the cold air feed has now been installed. As you can see, it's funneling cold air straight from the front. It then comes up here. Obviously there is an issue of rubbing on the belt, but I've secured it in place with a few cable ties and it doesn't seem like that's ever going to touch. Then flows all the way up straight into the air filter, providing nice cool air to then eat it all up and make more power. Obviously, as I've mentioned before, it's not a performance car, it's not a performance engine, and the gains are negligible, but it creates a nice little sound and makes it run a teeny bit more efficient. So with that being said guys, let's move on to the next one. Next on the to-do list, I'm going to be installing some parts that's going to help with handling and grip. Definitely makes the car look a little bit more aggressive. We have these dive planes or canards to install. Now before you click off, let's just see what they look like first. They might look funny, they might look decent, but either way, let's put them on. Installing canards is a straightforward but impactful upgrade to your vehicle's aerodynamics. These small wing-like devices attach to the front bumper and work by generating extra downforce, which improves grip and stability at high speeds all of which are very important on a 115 horsepower 26-year-old convertible. In all seriousness, it's something I'm intrigued if it'll look good or not, so let's give it a try. To install them, you'll need to carefully position the canards where they'll be most effective. I recommend hiring a multi-million-pound facility to chuck your rusty Volkswagen in and test where the best place is. Honestly, I'm just going with the flow and having some fun at this point. Who knows, they might even look half decent. If they don't, I'll rip them straight off. Oh my god, that looks so stupid. Oh my god. And that is why, guys, I stuck it on and not used. Where are the mounting screws? There we go. That is why I did not use the mounting screws. So I'm not putting a hole in the bumper to make my car look like that. But, however, if they are mounted on and they're installed correctly, yes, they will increase performance, but that is making my car look hideous. Makes it look like a half its part special. So I'm not even going to leave them on for the job. They're going straight off. This sticky's terrible anyway. Look, just come off on its own. And then this one, boop. Fucking dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Let's put them in the bin. The thing is they wouldn't even fit. The small ones wouldn't even fit because the big ones are that large. Look how big that is. Oh my god, it's like a shark gill, but not in a good way. Jesus Christ. Anyway, that was one big regret. It was fun while it lasted, but I can't be seen on the street with those on. It's a performance modification. I didn't say it looked good. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, as a thank you for you guys sticking out the vlog, the next modification, we're going to be installing a turbo kit. Yeah. We're going to be installing a turbo whistle because we can't afford a turbo kit. Obviously, being a budget build, we've got £300 in each episode to spend on this car. Now, obviously turbo kits are way more than £300, and there's no chance we're going to be able to turbo this car for £300. But what we can do is make it sound like it's turboed for under 10 quid. So while we're on the topic of doing silly things, let's install this turbo kit, see what it sounds like. I've never installed one of these before. I don't know what it's going to sound like. I don't even know how. I think you put it in like that, so I have no idea what to expect, but let's just put it on for the lols. This is easily the dumbest modification I've ever done, apart from the canards, but I'm curious to see what it sounds like, so let's start the car. It's so stupid. What was I thinking? Oh god. So I think I need to take it for a proper road test before you can properly hear it, but what has my life come to? Now, technically speaking, that will increase performance because you're going to want to rev it more to make the turbo sound. Oh god. Anyway, let's do the next one. God's sake. Alright guys, the modification has been proven across every single manufacturer, regardless of what model it is, increased power by 5 horsepower. And that is a sticker. I mean, it's proven, guys. Everybody says it, so it must be true. And that is what this car needs to set itself off. It does need a racing stripe on the front. That is the one thing that lets this car down, and that is that it doesn't have a racing stripe. So we're going to clean the bonnet. I'm going to chuck this genuine carbon fibre with red stripe. Whatever, let's put it on. I can't be bothered anymore, I'm just an idiot at this point. Let's not forget personalisation. Cheap performance mods allow you to make your car uniquely yours. These cheap, easy to install mods let you put your stamp on your ride without spending a fortune. It's your car, so why not make it reflect your style? Okay, so the last modification we want to do on the car, it's not really a modification, it's more of a hack that not many people know about these cars. They have a hidden digital RPM signal. So rather than it have your RPM going up on the needle, there's a hidden function that pops up on here and it shows you your RPMs. Obviously, it's not for performance. Driver feel, yeah, I guess it's probably more satisfying seeing what exactly your RPMs are doing. It's mainly used for troubleshooting. So it's Volkswagen's sort of hidden diagnostic menu. You can tap into lots of different things on that, and that is one of the things that we want to do. I actually filmed how to access this on one of my old Mark III Golf hacks videos, so make sure you go and check that out. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, nice little pop from the exhaust as well. $19.98, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that being said, let's go out for a drive. Let's see how all the modifications make the car perform. And I need to hurry up and film because those racing stripes look hideous. That sounds so stupid. It doesn't sound like a turbo at all. Oh my god, who buys these stupid products? In other words though, the exhaust sounds really good. This thing's funny. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. So I've been driving around on the coilovers for a couple of weeks now, let the suspension settle, and it doesn't ride too bad. It's on more of the firm side, but being a set of budget coilovers, I don't know what you expect. Mainly they're there to get low, they're not there for comfort, they're not there to go on ridiculous track records, but they are there to get you nice and low. So it does exactly what it says on the tin. Alright guys, we managed to get quite a lot of work on this car done. We managed to install 10 modifications and definitely improved the way the car handles, feels, and we managed to squeeze a little bit of power out as well. Although we didn't do any ridiculous power increase modifications, we did have fun doing so, and I've definitely improved the way the car drives. Not everything is always about power. If we can improve the handling, if we can improve the driving feel, if we can improve grip, it's going to make a difference of how the car feels. And everyday cars like these, your Ford Kas, Fiestas, Polos and stuff like that, you can do little modifications to improve the way the car drives. You don't necessarily have to squeeze every single bit of power out. You don't have to put big turbo kits on and spend stupid amounts of money. You can spend a little bit of money after payday and have some fun with it. Adding up all of the parts we installed today, we obviously did the straight pipe exhaust, which didn't cost us a penny. We got it for free off Facebook Marketplace. The cone filter and MAF adapter was £29. The cold air feed, which was £16. The short shifter was £21 for two, so I think about 10 quid is fine. Converted to pounds, the upper and lower intakes were £68.74. The canards were £10, although we was just being stupid with that. Turbo whistle, again, another silly modification, was just having fun with. That was £7. I do not recommend installing that to your car because it looks stupid and it sounds stupid as well. Oh, someone wants to be in the vlog. Okay, hello. Racing stripe at the front. I'm not proud to admit we spent £10 on the whole kit. And I did have to install a nice little custom plus 50 horsepower. There was the coilovers. In a previous vlog, we already installed them. So take that as you will. I don't think I'm going to put it in the budget because I already installed them in a previous vlog. So I could have really talked about them then as a performance increasing modification. But yeah, so this is the way the vlogs have happened. Obviously, these were from Max Speed and Rod, so thank you very much. They are on the firm side, but for being the cheapest coilovers you can find on the market that bolt straight to the car, I don't know what you'd expect. My first-hand experience with the MAF adapter is quite expensive for cost. You're probably saving money if you drill a couple of holes in your airbox, put a panel filter in and call it a day. You're probably going to get better gains from the standard airbox, and it'll probably sound about the same, to be fair. Upper and lower bumper intakes, as you can see, have been installed, and we do have the Kanye shades on. I am going to remove the Kanye shades. I think the car's going to look a little bit better with them off. I have seen some cars with both Kanye shades on, and they do actually look good, but I don't think they really suit this car, especially the kind of look I'm going to go for. This stripe has to go. It's too embarrassing. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. The biggest wasted £10 I've ever done. So adding up all of the parts today, we have kept well within our £300 budget. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more content. If there's any other modifications you want to see me put on this car, put in the comments down below. Thank you very much to the sponsors, and don't forget to enter the raffle for the short shifter. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for another upload. Peace. All right guys, the next modification. Why does everyone start doing construction while I'm bloody filming? Now the upper and bumper